Hey, I believe we're live.
So it seems.
So, good afternoon, good evening to everyone who's joining us, depending on what part of the world you're in. My name is Brenda Unu, and I'm happy to be with you one more time on your favorite show, Women's Matters. And today we're going to be still talking about our Rise to Write series, where we're having women come to tell you their stories about how, writing has just changed their lives one way or another. And today I have my beautiful guest with me, Adaku Udeogu, and she's going to be telling us about how writing her first book was for her, even though she was so scared. Look, see, guys, everybody can be scared, but everybody can write. And that's what I keep on saying. Everybody can write a book because everybody has enough within them to write a book. So even if you're scared, it doesn't matter. You're in good company, as Adaku is going to tell us today. So, Adaku, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad to be here.
Good evening.
Thank you,
I'm so
Brenda.
happy to have you here live with us today. So, as we normally do on our show, we have our guests introduce themselves. We don't do profile reading, we don't do all those things. Allow you to use your own mouth to toot your horn. So, you're going to tell
Hmm.
us who you are, what you do, and why should we be excited listening to you right now? Tell us. In in fact, this is the one place you have the right to flatter. Like, just don't even, there's no humility in this one. Just feel free to toot your horn. Thank you very much.
Nice. Okay. Thank you so much, Coach B. That's what I call you. All right, as already mentioned, my name is Adaku Jennifer Udeogu.
Mhm.
I am a chartered accountant, a fellow actually. At least I've been an
Wow.
accountant, yes, for 20 years. So,
Okay.
yes,
Wow.
yes. So I work as an analyst and
Mm,
also do some other stuff for myself.
okay.
And I'm a mom of two kids. I'm also very vibrant in the church. I am a Catholic by faith,
Hmm.
and I am the head of liturgy in my parish.
Nice.
Yes. And I'm also a member of the CW. I'm also a chorister.
Only you won.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. And I'm an intentional mom. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
yes, I think that's it. And then most importantly, I am a writer. I've
Yes,
published
you're
my
an
first
author,
book.
published author. Let's go.
Yes, I've published my first book.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, see all the plenty accolades only you has. I love it. And this is why I really do tell people to, toot their horn. There's so much about some people that you just don't know. I mean, I've known Adaku for over a year now, and I'm like, I hear all this and I'm thinking, oh wow, okay, I didn't know that one. But I knew she was very active in church. Yeah, I knew that one. But all these 20 years chartered accountant, I'm like, yes, ma'am. Well done, ma'am. But yes, congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. And thank you for
You're
agreeing to speak
welcome.
with us. We're excited to have you. So tell us, with all these plenty things and plenty accolades that you already achieved, how was writing a book for you? How did it feel like you're doing something new that you were not quite versed with? Somebody coming out with, when you want to talk about your accounting today, now you're like, please, I've been an accountant for 20 years. So there's nothing I'm going to bring to you that will shake you. Do you understand? You show up, with all of your experience and energy and confidence to such a thing. If you go to church now, you're doing stuff in church ahead of liturgy. Come on now, do you know who I am? You show up with all your confidence with those kind of things. But yeah, you are. You're approaching writing the book, something that was totally new, so totally different. How did it feel for you?
Wow, that's $1 million question. But man, I felt on top of the world. Like, seriously, me write a book? No, you don't understand, Brenda. I know if you remember when we started, the first time I called you and I was like, are you sure I can write? As in, and then you were like, no, yes, just go ahead. You can, and then I joined in this program where it was like you gave us a deadline if you want to achieve this. And you actually mentioned that the person has to be, very busy. And I'm like, wow. No, I felt on top of the world. Writing is something I never believed that I could do. I never. So I was like,
I mean, with
man,
your accounting brain, you're probably a numbers person. So you see, you're thinking
yes,
numbers is here, writers are here. How
exactly.
do
I'm
they
a numbers
blend?
person. That's actually, yes, Coach Wendy will say, don't classify yourself as any person. But me, I will say I am a numbers person. I would never believe writing. No. So I
And
felt
and
so
that
much
is it.
accomplished.
Well
So
done,
much.
well done,
Yes.
well done. And to be honest, and this is why, I say to people that there's nothing that can stop you to be, you may feel, this is what I know how to do. In my house, my children do that a lot. Somebody will say, me, I'm the one that is the writer. Me, I'm the one that is the artist. This is the one that is they want to be splitting. I'm like, no, everybody can be everything. You that
Exactly.
are the
You
artist,
can't be
you write
everything.
today. You that are the author, that are the writer, you will draw today. You will try your hands on everything because you just never know what else you can do until you try. If somebody had told you 3 years ago that you'd write a book, blah, it's not people like me
Ah,
that write.
even months before then, somebody said, why don't you write the book? And I'm like, me, Kenny, I beg, forget it.
Because it would have been like, no, it's not. This sort of thing doesn't happen to people like me. You would just generally
Very
think,
true.
no, it's not me. I beg. You know. So, but here you were able to do all of that, and that is a good testament to who you are and what you have been doing. So I love it. 1 minute, I'm just quickly checking something. Okay. So back to our conversation. So when you first decided to write a book, what made you even think about it? Okay, granted, you already said you're a numbers person, your head is here. So what now made you say, okay, I want to write a book? What were you thinking?
We just concluded then the Masterpiece Mentorship program, 90 days. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I needed to do something for my birthday. And I've been trying out singing, maybe
Mm,
to do an album. It wasn't working. Then the women's growth
mm,
conference came up. I think towards the end of January. And I was like, okay, let me see
mm,
what the conference is about. I joined the conference. And I think on the second day, there was this session where one of the
mm,
lady was mentioning how God can speak to you through other people. And I
mm,
had seen your advert about the book writing, and I just wrote it off because I'm like, book writing is not my own. But that day, she now mentioned how she had written like 20 books after writing the first one with you, and she had gone to write like how many within
yes.
2 to 3 years.
Yes.
Yes.
She
So
has
as she said
written
that
more than her teacher, Fa.
yes. And she was not saying that God can be speaking to you, And I was not like, I've seen book
Mm,
writing. And now this woman is now mentioning it. Is God telling me something? It even took me
mm,
plenty time to really, because you had like a window for early birds that was to be
mm.
cheaper. Early birds don't pass safe. I said, let me just call Coach B and see whether this thing self we can try and I
Mm,
wanted maybe you would tell me to be like okay, maybe try. You were convincing, and the way you
mm,
spoke to me to be like, no, don't worry, it's okay, you can come in,
mhm,
was another thing that gingered me, because a friend of mine had mentioned it earlier to be like, why don't you try writing a book? I said, me, no, I don't like writing, so I would not. So that's what
yes.
delayed me. But after speaking to you and you now affirmed it again to be like, oh yeah, why not? No, I said,
Mm.
okay, 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 let me see. And I
You're
was
like,
not like,
let's do
I
it.
don't know what to write about though. I said, I don't have an idea. Oh. You even told me,
Mm,
go ahead, put down these things, put down this one, put down this one. And then
mm,
by the time I put down and sent to you, you were like, wow, you have a lot you can write about.
mm.
The rest is history. Oh. And I'm telling you,
I love it. I
yeah.
really I remember really very vividly, all the conversation we had that time, and you were like, hey, I cannot write so and all of that. I was even just telling somebody the other day about your story. Say, see, this I cannot write. I've heard it so many times, and I've seen the people come out on the other side with amazing books. Because to be honest, once it is dropped in your spirit to write, you don't need to have any skill per se. All you
That's
need
true.
is the hunger to tell your story. And God always takes care of the rest, right? And that was how you were able to be led to hear something, to come to me to help you put together. God just takes care of the rest. I have personally found that every time that I'm supposed to do something, and it crosses my mind, it drops in my heart to do something, I will just find a teacher. There will just be somebody advertising the thing next day,
Very
and I'm like,
true.
here's what I needed to do. Do you understand? That is how God aligns things in our favor. When He wants you to do something, He just sends the help. So it's so when you find yourself, something has dropped in your spirit, then the next day you see something that looks like it will be the help for that thing. You're like, okay, Lord, are you speaking to me? Like you
Exactly.
said, you were like, okay, am I missing something here? And just go for it. And that's what I tell people, go for it. Don't sit down, don't analyze, because all those analysis paralysis, they rob you of what you could have done. Many times we sit down. The other day I was saying, in fact, I've been a victim of this. So it's not even as if I cannot relate. Many times I will say, I want to do this, I'll see everything I need. I'll be like, hey, what if not? You
A
start
lot of
thinking,
what
thinking, thinking,
if.
and then the moment will pass. The moment will pass, and maybe life will happen, you forget about it. And then you know what will make it come back to your memory? You will find somebody else doing that same thing.
Exactly.
You'll not be like, hey, God, this is what I wanted
Yes,
to do. You'll not be looking and say, hey, nothing can be as painful as that
I'm
thing. So when you see
telling
the person
you.
flourishing and doing it joyfully, be like, hey, this could have been me. You know, and there was one particular episode that was so painful, and that was there I just said that, you know what, as it
Hmm.
did land my
As
spirit,
they
I'm
hot.
jumping. And people always ask me, why are you always so quick to execute? I'm like, hey, you don't know what I have suffered in this life. You don't know what I've missed out on. So I don't want it to be me again. As it is dropping in my spirit, I'm running with it because I don't want to be. That
Yeah.
feeling was so painful that day. I looked at my life and said, this one could have been me. This person is making millions out of this thing. I'm not even kidding you.
Wow.
So I was saying, hey, God. And God gave me this idea. It was so painful. So since that day, as in, it cannot be me. I will refuse it with all my body. As the thing is dropping, I'm dropping. And that is really what all of us should be. Because the truth of the matter is that the Holy Spirit, likes obedience. Once He gives
Yes,
you
very
something and
true.
you run with it, He'll give you more over and over and over again. And that's really how it works. So tell us about your own obedience journey. So you felt in your spirit you wanted to write this book. You found me, and then you came on board, and you were thinking, "Oh, I don't really know how to do this thing. I'm not really sure." But and how did the class help you? Because you may have felt out of sorts. You may have felt like, this thing is bigger than me. Or, me, I'm a number. So all this English, Coach B is talking about is a lot. How were you able to switch yourself, and psych yourself to go through with the whole 90-day program?
Ah. Now the thing is, I was running with a target,
Mm,
and what you came up with was like it was like as if it fits exactly because I wanted
mm,
to have the book before my 40th birthday.
right.
And the date you gave when we're supposed to launch the book was just right before the birthday. So I kept telling myself, see, you have to ensure you follow. So for every class, as
Mm,
you're giving it, I am following it bumper to bumper. As you
I know.
say, write this one and put it down, be looking at it every day. Your target,
Mm,
I was doing that. Let your target for each words to do that, I was doing that. To use
mm.
this one to do this, I was doing that because it was how many lions were chasing
You
me?
knew what was chasing you.
Yes, exactly. So
Actually,
whether I knew what I was doing, I was just following. The important thing is I just wanted to ensure that I was following as well. And you were so,
right.
so, so, as in the classes were so easy to understand,
Mm,
easy to follow, and having a
yeah.
group that you can commune with, you can chat with,
Mhm,
when people, as in that, the accolades you get when you meet your target, you give us targets, and when you meet the targets, the accolades
mhm.
you get, yes, people like us used to like this kind of things when they praise you
I
for
know.
doing, yes. So I would always want to ensure that I get it. And that was how I was able to meet up. And meeting it up like that, so that I think I was the first that finished. I was able to publish my book. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I remember,
Yeah.
and it was so funny because I was like, look at this person that was the most afraid, was the first to finish her book, and everybody was now hailing you. In fact, so many people now got encouraged by you publishing that book, and they now be
Very
like,
true.
let me get up with my own. And that really is the joy of a group coaching. You know, I
Exactly.
meet a lot of people and say, oh, I don't do well in groups. I want to do one-on-one. I'm like, it's fine if you want to do one-on-one, right? But I mean, you should know yourself. But there is a lot to be said about group coaching. There's a lot to be said about, the accountability that comes from other people pulling their weight. And they feel like you don't want to do anything, and somebody is reporting that they've done something like, I cannot be left behind. That kind of thing. And you will jump on and you give yourself ginger and you will continue. So that really is the joy for me, in group coaching and things like that. Apart from that, it's even better priced, you see? So what's not to love? Okay. So tell me, you said you wanted to publish a book for your birthday. What do you call it? For your birthday. So how was the whole timing for you from when you started writing to when you published? What was like how many weeks, months? What did it take you?
It was
And how was the
two
whole
months.
process?
It
Hmm.
was 2 months. When I told people, like when I was launching the book, and somebody was like, how long have you been writing? I said, I just started 2 months ago. And
They were like, no way.
wow, no,
Then
that's
look at the
not
superstar.
possible. I'm like, we started in February, and
Mm-hmm.
by March, I launched the book. No, not
Mm-hmm.
March, May. By May, I launched the
Yes,
book.
your birthday was me, yeah.
Yes. And they're like, really? As in, from February, you had it launched in May? And I'm like,
Mhm.
yes. They said, that's not possible. But that was the target you set, as in the timings you had set and everything, when we're supposed to do this and do that. And by God's grace, it came on board. Yes, it was
Absolutely.
unbelievable, but it was done.
It's
It
doable.
was,
And that's what
yeah,
I tell people. It's
yeah,
completely doable because it's something I have done before.
doable,
I have
yes.
helped others to do. So I know that it's doable. It's just a matter of, okay, you need this thing badly enough, then just go for it. Because we have a simple structure that helps you if you can consistently put something down every day, you meet your target. And it's
Very
like I
true.
said, it's for busy people. So we're not expecting that you have 1, 2 weeks as a block that you will sit down and you'll be writing every day for two. No, we're expecting that with your normal life, with all the normal things that are happening around you, with your business, your work, your children, your family duties, your church commitments, everything that you have to do, you can find 1 hour in a day to put down something. In fact, you can find 30 minutes, two slots of 30 minutes and put them together. Whatever rocks your boat. And for me, I personally used to wake up 1 hour earlier. And I say, if you cannot find any time in your full day, say your day is too choked, okay, wake up earlier or sleep later. Just find it because it depends on how important it is to you that you know how much you're going to push. Because at the end of the day, it's everybody that was pushing them. Like you knew exactly what was pushing you. You had
I'm telling
a
you.
date, you had a launch date that you had to meet. And so you could not afford to slack because what were you going to tell people? The birthday is the birthday. The date was already fixed. The book had to show up. And so that is how I encourage people. Set a date. Set a
That's
date.
true. You told us,
Yeah,
yes.
set a date. Once you set a date, your whole body and mind and spirit will work with it. I have many times I've tried to write a book and I'll be taking my time. Because like I told you, I can do this thing in 6 weeks. I can. I've seen the process. I know the structure. I have it. But sometimes I'm like, where's the hurry? Let me take my time, and then when I now remember that, I had a target for something, all I need to do is just set up pre-order. If I just put pre-order and people start paying me, once I see the amount, I'm like, I won't sleep again. I will not be finding the one that I will write the book. And that is how I personally work. Everybody needs to know themselves. What will push you? What will drive you? Is it to set
Very
a date? Then
true.
do it. Is it to grab somebody else to encourage you? Then do it. Whatever you need to do to get your goal, you need to get it. But the part that you cannot write, that one is a life from the pit of hell. Everybody can write.
Big
See this, my
lie.
number sister, a whole fellow in chartered accountants. She can write a full book. In fact, tell us about your book so that they don't even think that this thing I'm saying, I'm just talking. Tell us
Hmm.
about your book.
Huh. You know, that's the climax of the enjoyment. To write something and somebody will now come and tell you, this book changed my life.
Mm,
Yes. The title of my book is Forever Comes in Fragments.
mm,
Whenever anybody picks it, they'll be like, this title alone speaks a lot.
mm,
So it's just like the story of a woman and her journey through love from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
our experiences, up
Mm,
onto the climax of it.
mm,
So it tells you most of the stories that most women go through that they don't talk about, challenges that they face in relationships, in families, in marriage,
mm.
that they don't talk about. So most persons, when they read it, some people tell me how they could not drop it.
They can
That,
relate.
yes, and that lady said, you talked about me. That was me from the beginning to the end of it. That was me. And
Mm.
I felt humbled, really.
Imagine
I
if you had
felt humbled.
sat on all of this,
Huh.
and told yourself, "Oh, I
Oh,
can't write. I'm a numbers person." I always tell people that there's a message in your heart that only you can deliver to the world. And if you don't deliver it, you rob those in your circle of the joy of that message. Because think about it.
very true.
This your book. You are going to sell. There's people in a circle. Maybe God has given that idea to somebody else in Japan, another person in maybe Dubai, another person in America. But your own message is for the people in your circle. And if you
Yeah,
don't write it, you don't share it, those people would not, that woman who said this was for me, she would never have received that eureka moment. She would have received that rema, never have received that healing, that
yeah,
message that the book was for her. She would never have gotten it, because how would she find the other guy that wrote it in, or the other woman that wrote it in Japan? She
very
would
true.
possibly never cross their path. But you were the one sent to the people in this area. And then you now choose, I cannot, because, oh, it's not going to be perfect. Oh, what if people say it's not okay? Oh, what if they say I cannot write? Oh, what if, my dear, forget that stuff.
But
Just
you know
go
the
for it.
important thing, until the
Mm,
book was launched, I still was feeling like, is this good? Is it enough?
is
Will
it
it
good
do
enough?
what it's supposed to do? I was still
Mhm,
doing so. I was still afraid. Even till
mm,
now, I am still afraid, not
mm,
understanding the capacity of impact that it is
mhm.
doing. But the important thing is that
Absolutely.
it came out. I'm learning from it. It came out.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I was not still okay at the end of it, but it's still doing a lot.
It is. In its imperfection, it would still be
Exactly.
speaking to people, because the truth of the matter is that people who change the world don't wait till everything is perfect.
Very
They
true.
just go. You have a message, just move. And I always use this iPhone example. The iPhone is now on what, 16? I be what's number?
I don't
If they
know.
had been waiting for it to be perfect before they released, maybe they will still be on iPhone 1 now. They'll just be releasing iPhone 1.
That's
But they
true.
brought it out as it were and shared it with the world. And as the world was using it and giving feedback, they were improving. And every time they improve, they
Exactly.
bring out a
Making
new version.
improvements.
Every time they improve, they bring out a new version. As you give feedback, they improve, they
Yeah.
bring a new version. As you improve, that is what life is supposed to be about. Don't
That's so
wait till
true.
it's perfect. Just share it as it is. As people start to use it, they start to give you feedback, you start to improve it. This course that we did with you, that you said, you joined me, that you were in the first cohort of that course. I
Yes.
just graduated the third cohort on last Sunday. And
Nice.
the messages that they shared with me, I was just like, my heart was so full. And I just kept on thinking about how the course had changed. If you guys see the curriculum of that course, you will not even believe that it's the same course you did. You'll be like, coach, you did not do us well. Because from your feedback, I improved it. Every single time we
Wow.
released it again, there was an improvement. Every time there was an improvement, With the second batch after yours, there was an improvement. We added branding, to say, okay, when you have
Oh,
finished writing, you need to position yourself. With this third batch, we added the amplify, which is that, okay,
wow.
so after you have finished writing, you've launched your book, what are you going to do with it next? What are you going to do with it next? How do you position? What are you going to, you can now start to maybe become a speaker, a coach, a consultant on this particular topic, because we drilled down to your core message to make sure you understand what your message is. So it's not just about one book. It's about a message that can give you several books. So it was a,
Exactly.
a more improved version. And if I had been waiting to have that more improved version before I started, I wouldn't have been able to serve you.
At all.
You wouldn't have been able to serve that book that helped that lady. And this is how life works. As soon as you have the idea, just go for it and be refining it as you go. And if that's the only one thing people have learned from today's conversation, please just take it to the bank. that
I've
listen,
learned to do.
life will never wait for you. And so you shouldn't wait for anything to be perfect. Once you have a message, you have a strong feeling in your heart to do something, just go for it. Just completely and totally go for it. Nobody stops you. Nobody's gonna say, "Oh well, this Brenda's background is not okay. Oh. How can she show up like this? This her makeup. She doesn't even have makeup. Why is her hair like that? Why is her camera like this? I can't even see this screen well." Nobody's gonna do that. People that you are sent to will receive the message in whatever raw form it is and be
On
blessing God for
point.
you. They'll be thanking God for your life. Say, if not for Coach B, how would I have delivered this my book?
Yes.
How would I have? They will be thanking God for you on top of your scatteredness that you used to deliver the thing.
Yes.
I mean, we're not
I'm telling
saying you should
you.
do things that are less than perfect. We're not, I mean, you're not saying they should do things anyhow, but we're saying that it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to be ready and show up with your full heart because people will know when you're doing something out of your heart. Even if you don't have your optics perfect, you don't have the all the back end, the tech things perfect. Go and start. Start with WhatsApp. WhatsApp class. Start today. You don't have Zoom, no problem. Go and start with the WhatsApp class. Go and start on Facebook. Start today. Don't wait for anything. It can never be perfect. My first classes I ever taught were on WhatsApp. That woman that told you she joined the class with me and she now went to write 20 books. It was on WhatsApp. I taught her. I didn't have this fancy course that I taught you guys then. It was a WhatsApp class. All I had was the message. I had hacked a system. I knew it was going to work and I needed to share with people. And I was like, join me on this course. They joined me and we taught it. And she went on to fly. That woman, the first day she came, she's like, I'm just joining here because I like you. I don't really know what you're going to teach me. I'm not the kind of person that writes. And I kept on
Wow.
telling her, you can do it. She would write something. She'd be like, hey, I don't know. I'm not sure this thing makes sense. I said, you can do it. And she says, anytime that she was stalking and thinking she couldn't do anything, she would remember that, could you please say I can do it? So I can. And she put her head down. The first day she wrote her Facebook, I was
Very
jumping, I was
true.
dancing. I said, what? Oh God, I was so happy for her. I saw this woman releasing books by 5 at the time. I'm like, So
I'm
all
telling
these
you.
messages were in your heart. And all she needed was a system to bring it out.
Bring it
And once
out.
I delivered the system, she ran. So if I was there waiting to arrange to have a fancy course with Zoom and all of that, I wouldn't have been able to help her. She wouldn't have been able to help all the many people she has helped with her books. Do you see how we are all connected?
That's true.
We are all connected.
That's true.
And that is how God just makes our lives to be connected. So at the end of the day, me, I don't even joke again. Oh. I am always I'm always working, I'm always moving. Like the thing enters my head like this, I'm like, let's go. I don't even wait, I don't even pause, I don't even think too much about this. Somebody said to me that your speed of idea to execution should be studied. I'm like, you don't even know what I'm going through, what I've gone through in the past. That you don't know what's pursuing me. Is that pain from that day when I saw this? I was like, this could have been me. There's nothing as painful as that thing. I'm sure everybody has gone through it before, but maybe it did not. Maybe your own didn't hit you as much as my own
Yes.
did
Most of us
because
have
I
gone
saw
through it too.
this person and I was like, this is my idea. I googled it and I saw the website. I was like, hey God, I had that idea years before, many years before. But I was like, at that time I was broke. Oh. I didn't even have work. So if I had pursued it on my heart, maybe I would not blow. Do you see?
Ah.
I was less
Hmm.
busy. I didn't have anything to do. So it was just, and it is just well, Sha. Let me not dwell too much
It's
before I start
well,
to feel bad. But I think I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson.
It's well.
It is well. It is well. So I wanted you to tell me how it felt for you on that day of your launch. When there's one thing to say you've done something, and then quite another. Okay, how did you feel when you first saw your book in printed copy? I mean, that's a feeling that is almost undescribable. When you first held the first print in your hand, do you have a copy with you there?
Yes, I do.
Sure, it
I
was.
have a copy with me.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Is your blood background that is not letting us see it? Well, put it in front of your face so that we can see it. There you go. Beautiful.
Okay.
Yes, there you go. You've seen it. Yes. Beautiful. How did it feel the first day you held that copy in your hand?
Hmm. It was like a dream.
Mm.
It was like I was dreaming, like to see your name on a book, printed copy of a book, it was like a dream. It took a while to actually sink in that, come on, this book is yours, is your name that is on top of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it took a while. It was to believe
was
that it was
surreal.
real life.
You know, remember in the class, when we were doing this class, there was a period when we said, print a dummy cover and write your
Yes.
name.
Yes, you said so.
How did that help you? How did that imaging help you, that vision?
It did help a lot because even though that was not the final cover page for my book, looking at it every time that I had to write it spurred me on because it's like, I'm going to have this. This is what I want to have. This is what I want to get. So even though it didn't end up being, just like you said, it may not be the final one, but it was a very big motivator, a very big one. Yes.
Absolutely. Visioning is everything, and the first time I ever did it was so powerful for me. Like, I just did a cover page, went on Canva, did a cover, put my name, printed the thing, and looked at like, Brenda, the author. It was good.
I even sent it to people.
Yes,
like,
you start telling
my
yourself
upcoming book.
Yeah, this. And the minute you start to share it, you start to run towards it. Even your brain, your mind, your whole body starts to work towards it.
Exactly.
And that's the power of visioning. And as much as possible, I always start the classes with that. Go and visualize. Go and get. If you don't submit that, I'm not moving on with you. Submit that cover page. It's a powerful reminder that you can do it. It's at the end of the day, we're always like, okay, bring your vision cover and your real cover now. It's always worlds apart. Juicy, but it did its job.
No, it's day and night.
But it did its job, and the job was really just to score you on. It did its job. But it's a very important part of the puzzle. So if you don't do it, you just think it still looks like a pipe dream. It looks like something that should I, shouldn't I, will I, wouldn't I, and so asking you to do it always helps remind your mind where you are going with this, remind you why you're doing this and what the eventual goal is. And so for me, that is one of the parts that I like the best about the class. Like once you can nail your title and just put it on the cover, and in fact, sometimes nowadays if you don't even know your title, it's okay, because I have done a cover page before. In one of my books, I think I called it Our First Home. I didn't know what it was going to be. It was a book I was writing about couples building their house. And I for the life of me, I couldn't figure out a title. As I wrote Our First Home, I knew it was such a cliche title. I knew it was very ras. But I didn't have time to dwell on it. I just put it out there, did my visioning, and I moved on. When it was now time to, pray the actual cover of the book, I said to pray. I said, Holy Spirit, I need a name. Juicy. I'd gone online, I'd Googled, I'd got ideas for name. I'll get like 5 titles. My friends will pick one. I'll say, I don't like it. I will go and bring another 5. That time there was no ChatGPT. It was just Google and all of that. So I would search. I won't find anything. When then ask Holy Spirit, at this point, you have to help me because I need a catchy title for this book and I need it to be, gang. So just start doing your thing. And then one night I just heard it. I knew it's brick by brick. I like, oh, now that's the book. That was the title, that was how I ended it. It was brick by brick, a couple's journey to building their first home. And it was just, it resonated with everybody. As soon as I shared with my friends and all the people that we voted, like, now we're there, now we're there, now we're there. So even when you don't have a title yet, it's not an issue. Just keep writing. The important thing is to pour out what is in your head, right? Pour it out. Now, I wanted to ask you something about, you talked about keeping to the schedule. How difficult was it to keep to the schedule that we set in the course? How difficult was it? Yeah, I know you're a very busy person. You have 2 kids, you have work, you have, all of your commitments at church. How easy was it to keep to that schedule?
It was very difficult though. It was very difficult. But one thing that helped me was the Masterpiece mentorship. We had just come out from Coach Wendy's.
So you were like, I can do all
back to back. Exactly. And my family's tagline. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So showing it to my children as in back to back. And as an accountant, I have deadlines. But you start writing of 30 minutes, and you tell us that you have to put it to show how many words you've added. I had to meet it too. I had to find a way to put schedule how I would do it in the morning, do some in the morning, do some in the evening. Even whenever I find myself in a place where I
Yes,
have
I
some
do
few
times here. They're
minutes.
waiting for a meeting
Yes,
in
Drive was
between.
my friend.
Those times are always
Yes,
very useful.
Google Drive was my friend. Just type something, do something. Now, once you have it updated on your drive, it's updated in all the folders where you have it. So that was so awesome for me, learning that. Yes. So it was difficult, but I didn't have a choice to meet up. I just had to. I changed my routine. Had to change the way I was doing most of the things I was doing. So I had to intentionally create the time for it.
Yeah.
I had to intentionally create the time for it. Because if you don't do it intentionally, you won't meet up.
And to be honest, easy, anything that is important to you, you will find time for. Do you see?
That's true.
Because
that's true.
If there's one movie that you like to watch now on Netflix, it's a series. You will find the time.
Hey,
you will find the time. If there's one gist going on Insta blog or somewhere, you will find the time.
Exactly.
Do you see? So the truth of the matter is that what is important to you, find the time for it. My husband plays golf like 3 times a week. Each golf game is 5 hours. I can never understand where he finds the time. Like, wow.
Wow.
But he looks at me and says, How do you write all the books you're writing? Please don't stress me. That's one that is suiting me. And I think about it and I just laugh. And so that's where I'm able to understand. So, okay. He said it cools him down. It distresses. He does very hard work. He's in construction. So he's like, after shouting and shouting all day at artisans, and he just goes to the golf club and just plays away his time. He's able to just decompress. So that's it for him. Sometimes he doesn't get to do thrice a week. Sometimes it's twice. Sometimes it's once. But at least that he has somewhere to go and decompress. That's what is important to him. So he finds the time. And I thought, okay, I can understand that. So anybody that says you're too busy, it feels not important to.
There's nobody that is too busy. As long as that thing is
important
to you. Yes.
Because what is important, you will find the time.
Yes, you'll find the time on.
I show up at my children's school and they tell me that, Mommy, you're always here. Why do you have so much time? I say, I don't really have so much time. You people are important to me. That's why I'm here.
Exactly.
I don't have so much time. Do you know how busy? Are you joking? Do you know how busy I am? I do not have so much time. Important, that's why I make you a priority. I will reschedule every other thing to show up at your school. Not because I'm less busy. Let's just be clear. I'm not less busy. And so whatever is important to you, you will make time. And that's really how I want everybody to see this right away thing. When you think, oh, it's too long, oh, it's too strenuous, oh, I could never find that time. You can.
You
absolutely can.
You can.
You absolutely can. And the first time I ever found the time was when I had what was pursuing me. When you say, what is pursuing you? I was very broke. And the first coach I met had told me that I could make money from writing the book. That was what I needed to hear. I'm like, let's go. When can I finish this book so I can start making the money? It was such a funny reason. But my sister, I put in everything to that book. I was waking up 1 hour earlier every day because my life was really busy, but I was broke. Even as busy as I was very broke. But I put in that time, and at the end of how many weeks I was done, I put it up on Seller. I sold the book and people were paying. I said, if at that time I didn't even have Seller or any of these fancy links or anything, I literally opened it for pre-order. I put my account number there. People were paying me.
Wow.
I was seeing the money entering. At the end of the month, it was 1 month period. At the end of the month, I took all their email addresses because as we were paying, you send me a WhatsApp message, I click your message. I was putting it in an Excel sheet very manually. At the end of the 1 month, I carried all their email addresses and sent them the book one by one. I sold that book 1,000 naira. And at the end of the month, I had 200,000. So that's the day I sold 200 copies of the book. It was an ebook. I just needed money. I didn't really know, how to package or anything. But I marketed that thing with my life and I sold 200 copies in 1 month. I was a first-time author. Nobody knew me as a writer. But I'd been writing on Facebook, small stories here and there. They were following me. So people that were reading that same story, I packaged it and sent it to them and they paid me for it. But my point was that I found the time to do it because something was chasing me. Do you see?
Yeah.
I was targeting that money. So when I made that money, guess what I did with it? I took that 200,000 and I didn't spend it. I immediately started writing a third book. Okay, I sold two at that time. So I now started selling a third one because that it was two. I was selling for 1,000. No one. No. Hey,
Wow.
God of mercy. Two. So after the period I finished, and I said each one was now 1,000. So they now started buying it. People were still buying it, But that first one that I made once, I gathered that money and I took it and I put it into the printing of my third book. So I started writing the third book. When I finished, and I paid as a down payment for the printing of that one. I think the printing was 400,000 or so, but I paid that 200K as a down payment, and I started pre-ordering that one as well. As I opened it for pre-order, people started to pay. That's when I was not selling this one. That time my eye was on wider, and I started selling this one like 4K or so, or 3K. I can't remember. So this time I was like, I was like, oh more, I need to make money out of this thing now. So and I sold that thing. After I did that pre-order for that one, I think the pre-order of the first, I pre-ordered like 100 copies in that 1 month. I got like 400,000 first. Then I also now did a launch. I got another 1 million from that one. So and I said, oh more, there's money in this business. Let's go. But the initial reason for me was I needed to make extra income. And because I pushed myself, I was able to do it. Now, these days, what I'm writing for is not really income. It's more of, impacts, more of that. But of
Impact.
course, I don't have anything against the income, you see. So everybody can do with an extra money here and there. So,
Yeah.
but at that time, that was what was pushing me. And the push made me get to what I was doing. So whatever anybody needs to do, whatever it is that whatever it is, especially you must be able to find a solution to your problem. You can't sit down and be broke. See, I tell people that I can't be broke again, ever. All I need is to create a program and sell it, and I will make the money
Yeah.
I'm looking for because I have now developed myself enough to have enough to sell. There's
Exactly.
enough in my head to sell.
Value.
Enough. So it's not a case, I cannot be broke. If I'm broke, I'm lazy. I'm being lazy. If I'm truly seriously broke, it's just to gather one thing and say, okay, this is what I want to say now. Market the life out of the thing. And that's it. That's how resourced we all are, to be honest. And if you sit down and think about it, you have experienced enough. Look at you, you've done 20 years of accounting. If I told you today to write a book to help a fresh accountant that just came out of school and lead them how to become chartered, it will come easily to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you see? It will be very easy to you. If you wanted to write a book to say, okay, you know what, you can become chartered while still in university. This is my story. You can write that. And all these youngsters will nowadays that they're in a hurry to do everything. They'll be like, if we buy the book, they read, they'll be like, oh yeah, let's go. They start implementing everything that you said. Because when they read at the back, Adaku is a 20 years chartered accountant, fellow of the Kiniko. They say, this person knows what they're talking about. They're already, so you have experience that can fetch you funds.
Yes.
You can't be broke. So it can be a book, it can be a course, it can be a consulting. You can go to a group of students in a school and go and teach them how to get chartered easily. They pay you, even if it's 2,000 times 1,000 students, as 2 million right there.
I'm
You get?
telling you.
So there's just an endless stream to what you can do with your experience. And so that's what is making me talk about this whole amplify you. That's what drives me. Now, two things drive me. Number one is the fact that I'm tired of having people with no sense, shaping narratives and taking the airways and just leading the thoughts
Yeah.
online. People with stupid messages, people with no messages, people with just noise, right? Taking up the
Exactly.
airways and just getting all the attention and so doing, distracting our children and making them follow them and follow nonsense and learn nonsense. Meanwhile, we have a lot of people with a lot
Exactly. A
of
lot of us with
wisdom,
so much
a lot of
value.
experience, a lot of value, a lot of
Yeah.
Holy Spirit wisdom.
I'm
And we are
telling
sitting
you.
down, we are
Sitting
folding our
down and
arms,
looking.
and we are vexing that these noisemakers are taking up the airways. Sister, what are you doing differently?
Yes.
What are you doing?
This
What are
is
you with
so
your
key.
voice? What are you doing with your own wisdom? What are you doing with your own experience? Have you come online to teach us that we are not following you? If you go to my Instagram now, I don't follow anybody. Then they were talking about Pella, this Pella. I was like, who is Pella? I had never even heard about him. My Instagram algorithm is so well curated that I don't even see rubbish. I did not know who the person is. No, your head. I had to go and be looking for him. I said, this looking, I'm looking for this fella. Let him not come and enter my algorithm. Please, let me be careful about this searching. I was not laughing because I'm very conscious about who I follow and who I listen to. And so I want. There was a lot of, it was viral in the last few days, where they say he won an award for something, and people, I think something about him. They said something about him, announcing that he wanted to give job to a cameraman, and he said those that have master's degree certificate should come. He'll pay them 500K. So people were like, and he didn't go to school. So people were like, he was making jest of the whole education system. And I thought so too, because he was really very somehow. How do you say that they must come with master certificate to apply for the job? They will be cameraman and follow him every day. He paid them 500K a month. That since they say there's no work in Lagos, they should come, let him give them work. And it was just really, I thought, you see, and this guy, he now won an award over the weekend for most visible. How did they explain it? Somebody that knows how to draw content. I'm like, hey, my father, where are we women of substance, we women that have enough information, enough experience, enough wisdom to share with the world? Even the Bible says older women should teach younger women. Exactly. That's what the Bible says we should do. So what are we doing? Yes. What are we doing? We're sitting down here, we're folding our arms, and we're vexing when these people show up. In fact, we are reposting their posts. We are even giving them more. Commenting on it, liking it, and giving them more algorithm likes. I'm like, no. So what I hope to do with the Amplify You is to say, you woman, you're an expert, you're a professional, you're an entrepreneur, you've done business for a while, you've done career for a while, whatever it is you've gotten expertise in. You can even be a stay-at-home mother. Do you see? You have raised 4 children, you've raised 3 children. Whatever it is you have received expertise in.
The experience. Yes.
Come with it, bring that experience, and let us craft a message for you. If all of us start to speak, if all of us start to take up the airways, if all of us start to shape culture, we will now start driving the proper narratives, and our children will have the right content to watch. So that's what drives me. That's awesome. Absolutely. That is absolutely what drives me, right? That is absolutely what drives me to say, let's just do this. So that's why I'm always excited when I see women who write. And so use your books. If all of you use your books that you've written, we're going to move you to the Amplify to get you on a path we need to start to, shout these messages from the rooftops. I especially love when I see someone that says writing a children's book. I can just piss you because children's books, we need children's book authors like we need air. We need good content for our children. We need good content. And I always, now the next set of people I'm targeting are professionals. I'm trying to tell them, write a book for young children to understand your profession. I wrote a book called My House. It talks about different types of houses, and all of that. And I read it. It's a very small book, like ages 5 to 7. I read it in my children's school. My son is 8. So I've been going to their school for many years to read it. Anytime they call me for book fair, book day, whatever. Every time I read that book to children, they always like, you see the lights in their eyes. They always like, and I wrote that thing during COVID. One time I was less busy. Do you see? So now the idea has come to me that if you're a fashion designer, write a book with a character that teaches her how to start to think what she needs to be doing now to become a fashion designer. You're an accountant. Write a book for a little child, for little children, lessons they can learn. Today to be safe, how to save. Tomorrow, how to invest. Tomorrow, how to start to think like an accountant, what to do and how to, understand and learn math and love math so you can become an accountant in the future. Just little things like that, little series like that can help our children to start to think well, and to look forward to big things instead of, I don't know. What are they reading now? Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I don't even know, man. I don't know. So there's a lot of work. There is a lot of work.
Percy Jackson. They read Percy Jackson.
There's a lot of work, my sister. There is
a lot of work.
There's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
So if everybody wrote, we will not have enough It will not be enough. When somebody say, must everybody write? Coach B, you always singing this your story. Must everybody? I say, yes, you write your own. Come on for gram. Add
Right.
add to the body of knowledge in the world and go. If it is one you have written, thank you. But add your own. Something that will live after you. Enid Blyton shaped my childhood. We read Enid Blyton series, The Magic Wishing Chair, Adventure
Famous
of the
Five.
Talking Tree, the Famous Five series, the Secret Seven, all of those things. It shaped our childhood and made us able to have imagination that we can write today. What are we
Yeah.
dropping for the children? What are we dropping? What are we dropping? So it's
Giving them
something
phone.
that are giving them phone, my sister. Hey, Jesus. Hey. So
That's a sad
so
one.
that phone business is God that will help us. But this is really, 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 really what is the message? As the message of this whole Rise to Right series is message to say that you can do it.
I love the message. I love it.
I'm bringing you Adaku, who was scared, who said she's a numbers person, who said it's not people like me that can write. I remember the first day she came to speak to me, I was like, you can do it, Jerry, forget it. Because I've seen people who are even
As in the way you
clueless
talked to
than
me
you.
that day.
See people that are more clueless than you write a book. So what can you write? Come, my friend, come inside, you can write. And look at it, you have a book today. Everybody can write. I'm not even joking. Everybody can learn to write. And there are things that, and what I say is that what we need is your message. You don't have to be perfect. The editor will take care of the rest.
Oh, yes,
Just
very true.
give us your message, that message that God has put in your heart, either through your experiences or through your through dropping it in your spirit, or through, just come and give us the message. That's all we want to see. The beauty and the packaging of it, we will take care of that. That's the job of editor and publisher. We will do it. You just come and drop your message as it is. We'll help you to
I'm telling
craft it
you.
in a compelling way that can change lives. And that really is all that it's about. So
I'm telling
Adaku,
you. Is it my
you have
net?
one word for our guests today, one thing that you think that they should go away with from today's conversation, what would it be?
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Amen.
Consistency and putting your mind to it. Nothing is impossible.
Absolutely.
Absolutely nothing. Nothing is impossible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I love it.
And do it afraid.
Do it
Yes.
afraid.
Do it
Do it.
afraid.
Just jump on it,
Yeah.
and don't overthink it.
Don't
The truth of
overthink
the
it.
matter is that once something comes to your head, when you start to think about it, you start to say, hey, can
People
I,
like me that
can I not?
overthink.
Once you allow the first set of questions enter, 500 follow immediately. But once you just enters your head and you just jump on it and starts, the antidote to fear is action.
Exactly.
What is holding you from moving forward today is fear. Forget whatever fancy what you want to call it, analysis paralysis, perfectionism, all of those things, they are rooted in one thing, fear. And the antidote for fear is action, is movement. Once you move, even the devil will give way for you. Like, this one is ready. Just let me just leave her.
I'm telling you.
Let her be going. When the devil gives way for you, like,
I'm telling you.
this one is serious. Let's not even, don't waste time here. Let's go to somebody else that is less busy. So, movement. If we leave one word from you today, Adaku says is I can do all things and you should do it afraid. I say move. Just start it. My book just started. Is one book that if you have not read it, go and get it. It's on Seller, it's on Amazon, it's everywhere. Go and look for it and buy it. It just tells you how all of those things that are holding you are not as important as they seem. They are not. What you really need is movement.
Not at all.
Movement. Thank you for coming out today. I had an amazing time, and thank you for everyone who joined. Everyone who joined. Yes, I can see somebody is greeting you online here. Will say hi, it's Casey and Chidima. I'm excited to see you here.
They're all fine.
That is from Thrive with Eka. And everybody says thank you for the session. Nkoye says thank you for the session. Marvin says I loved Enid Blyton. We all did. We all did. So great to know that I have to add to the body of knowledge. Absolutely. Everybody needs to add to the body of knowledge available on earth for the world to read. Yes, yes, yes. And yes, somebody talks about taking kids to the library. Yes, very important. Take kids to the library. We would have in Nigeria. We don't have library. What can we do? We manage with the school library.
Yes.
So yes, Mavis, thank you so much. She says she had an amazing time listening to us both. And so
Nice.
thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for coming
Marvis.
out, Adako. Thank you everyone for joining. Good night. See you same time
Good
next
night.
Tuesday where we have another guest and another topic. And see you. God bless
See
you.
you. God bless.